Welcome to the Vale, a rare bastion of civilization in a world recuperating after a terrible, centuries-long war. Though the battles ended 200 years ago, the land still recovers from this period of tumultuous strife and slavery. Join now the defenders of the Vale as they navigate a world riddled with opportunity and tragedy, all the while seeking glory, gold, and adventure.
Let's catch up. You guys walked in. You're looking for Basil. You went to this place, the lair. You found, I believe, Scandal found a portal, right? Are you the one that found the door and let somebody else go through it first?
Yeah, he found the door. Yeah. I walked through it because he was a scaredy cat.
Of course you walked through it because you're bold as hell.
Hey, it's not scaredy cat. It's intense survival instinct. Okay, get it right.
You're gonna have to use that line in dialogue so that we can put that in the show. Walked in, we found a couple Nagas and a dragon, right? And you guys are handling it pretty well. And then there was a wall of force cast over it, which is a brilliant trick. It's one of the, I don't know why I haven't seen more people post about this and like the tactics stuff that I see. It's a really good tactic. Wall of force is just a vicious spell for most things because there's no save, there's no nothing. You just cap them in that thing and you can deal with them as you want later. And it's very specific on how to get out. You have to tunnel or disintegrate it, right? Because it even goes in the ethereal. So I mean, teleportation's a way, but a lot of stuff you guys are capping don't have access to that. I have to start giving my dragons teleportation spells. So we're gonna pick up with that wall of force has been cast. The dragon is stuck inside by something it cannot perceive attacking it. And at this point in time, you guys have got this trap, but you got one Naga left to deal with. And with that, it's going to be the adult blue dragon's turn as he's stuck in this wall of force that is cupped him. And the dragon is going to... don't judge me for not remembering the name of the feat. The dragon does not gain its breath weapon. You see the dragon swipe and hit the thing, and it is screaming at you guys in a couple different languages. Anybody who understands Draconic will recognize it said some very not nice things about you. But other than that, its turn is up. Onyx, my friend... just to make sure you're aware of what's going on, one Naga's alive, two Nagas are alive, and one dragon is in an invisible bubble that you've seen before from your friends. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to kill the dragon, but it's hiding underneath the bubble that he didn't create. So I'm gonna come over here to this Naga and hit him in the face.
23 hits.
A 23 for 20 points of damage.
Beautiful.
A 32 for 17.
Ouch. Still alive, I think.
And I'm going to twirl my halberd over my head, bringing the halberd down into his eyeballs. 24 to hit for 13 more.
It is, you shed a bunch of spines from it. It looks rough. It's still alive. You mostly killed it though. You mostly re-deadified it. It's still not re-dead, but it's almost there. Rabijan, you can go, and you don't have to say the name of the creature you're attacking. You can just attack the bony serpent-like creature that has a name that we're not going to use.
The Bone Boys.
Okay.
With their sagging pants.
That's a cool band name.
Rabijan is going to move towards the lower bone serpent that everybody else is kind of hanging out by, the one by Roland and Grok.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to swing her mace at it. So that's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
So that's 5 bludgeoning damage and 7 divine smite, making 12 damage total.
And this one looks not fully healthy, not dead, somewhere in between. Mostly the middle of that.
Okay. And then Rabijan is going to use her spiritual weapon on the other bone serpent. That is
there we go.
To hit.
It was a blank to hit there for a minute.
23 to hit with 9 force damage.
And so as Onyx is standing there and he threw his all into killing this thing, it still survives his relentless attacks. And from behind it, what type of weapon does Freya's spiritual weapon look like again?
It's a sword.
So behind her, the sword of Freyan Justice smashes down, finishing off the serpent.
I'm good with that. Then that's Rabijan's turn.
This is going to lead us to not Grok.
If I remember correctly, not Grok's the one that casts the Faithful Hounds.
Ah, so you're going to do damage for that?
So I'm going to do the damage for that at the start of my turn, or the attack for that at the start of my turn.
Right, go ahead and roll the dice for it.
The Faithful Hounds hits a mighty AC 5.
I mean, the dragon probably hasn't put deodorant on. It's probably hard to be in that bubble with it.
And not Grok goes in Draconic. We have you trapped, and we're going to kill you if you don't help us. Where's Basil?
It kind of looks back at you and it snorts. And you would feel it if there wasn't an invisible wall of force in between you, but you can feel static electricity as the air around it is statically electrified.
And then not Grok moves to there.
Perfect. My friend Sue, what you got, bud?
Sue is going to ready an action to attack if the wall of force drops and the dragon looks aggressive.
Okay, perfect. Ren?
Ren will move like straight over here, and he will be waiting as well with a reaction to the same thing. I'm gonna throw 2 magic pointies at this dragon when the wall of force goes down.
Well, one. You'll throw 1 pointy at it. You can only make 1 attack with a readied action. But yes, you've readied action to make an attack against the dragon if the wall drops.
Yes, baby.
Got you, sugar. Scandal.
This bony dude is still up and kicking, right?
Yeah.
Down here. I want to shoot lasers at him, so I'm going to Eldritch Blast him.
Okay, pew pew. Got it.
I don't know.
I was like,
how
shoot
many
lasers.
I shoot.
What?
Yeah. How many lasers do I shoot?
Should be 3, I think, lasers at your level.
Yes.
It might be all 4,
4
actually. Yeah, it might be all 4.
4
They-
lasers.
yeah. We're big boys.
That's a lot of lasers.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, I can shoot 4 lasers at that guy.
Why dare you?
Oh god, I have to click this 4 times. This was
Yeah.
too much effort. I should have picked a different spell. A 20, a crit fail, a 16, and a 30.
Your crit fail's almost enough to hit. Okay, so 3 out of 4 hit.
Okay, cool. So that's 10, 20, 24 force damage. And I look at the dragon in the dragon cage, and I go, oh, excellent. You seem to have this sorted out. Well, I'll let you handle that. And I'm going to fly back into the other room.
All right. So you see Scandal fire lasers, blasting that bottom bony boy, and it looks almost dead. And
As
then
I fire when I fire the lasers, I hold up my loot, my DOS loot, and I strum with each laser, and it's going. That's how I
Did
fire
you
the
just-
lasers.
Did you just kung fu hustle the bony boy?
If I knew what that was, I would say yes. But as I don't, I could be walking into a trap, so I'm going to say no.
I don't like you.
Look, my music is electric, okay? And packed with deadly force.
All right.
Yes.
Grok is going to cast Thunderclap and carve out for Roland and Robbie John. Then I'm going to over-channel the Thunderclap.
Okay. You're gonna over channel the Saber Suck spell.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. Well, here, I'll just show you. For proof, I posted the natural 20 it got on its Constitution save.
Okay, it takes no damage.
I'm sorry. I wanted it to be half damage. Roland, you heard a loud boom, and there's a bony boy there.
I'm going to... I've got this awesome Staff of the Woodlands, and I haven't really used it for anything yet, so I'm going to smack this thing with it.
You gonna melee it?
It's amazing. He has a Staff of the Woodlands, and the very first time he uses it, it's going to be to spunk something in the head.
Okay, and actually, it's 2 less, because it did figure in something. So it's a 19 to hit. I gotta read something up. And then it would be 10 bludgeoning damage? No,
And-
8.
Yeah, even with 8, it's more than the 3 hit points this thing had left. So, you bonk it, it's booped, its snoot is officially smited, and it falls to the ground. Now, are you guys gonna try to dialogue with this dragon?
I'm absolutely going to try to dialogue with this thing.
Then
Okay, then-
Onyx is going to try to climb on top of the dome.
Then we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause combat here, okay? And if the dialogue works, that's great. If not, we'll just jump back into combat. All right. The dragon stands there, and it realizes it's kind of trapped, and it's just kind of glaring back and forth at all of you angrily, and it kind of screams. You know, it makes a threat, something along the lines of, "If I get out of here, I'm gonna mess y'all up." I don't know why he sounds like a professional wrestler, but I think I'm gonna go with that for the rest of this dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do that didn't count for nothing.
So, what do you guys want to say anything to it?
Grok's gonna step forward and go, well, the problem is you're gonna be in there for the next, I don't remember how long for Wall Force lasts. I gotta look. Yeah, 10 minutes. So the problem is you're gonna be stuck in there for the next 10 minutes or so, and there's a faithful hound in there with you. So you're gonna die before the 10 minutes is up unless you tell us where Basil is.
So you're coming to Thunder Thighs, and you want to know where the Basil man is at?
Yeah, we want to know where Basil is.
And what are you gonna do with that information?
I don't know. We'll have a team meeting. We'll put our heads together and figure it out.
Rin goes, make a few steps, stands right in front of the, and he just like put his dagger away and look up, both hands in his trench coat pocket, and he says something like, "Well, I believe you have been living for, I don't know, thousands of years. Maybe we could strike a deal. If you give us his location, we might let you live under certain conditions. But if you keep on trying to kill us and, well, not giving us what we want, well, I believe that you're gonna end up in, well, in a bad shape, if you feel my vibe. And I'm gonna get an intimidation check. Or at least I'm attempting that.
Yeah, go ahead and hit the dice. What did you get, buddy?
Rin got a sad 16.
All right. He does look a little shook due to poor rolling on his part. He's apparently been affected by the Faithful Hound's rolls in other ways. And
Nice.
he goes, how do I have a guarantee that you'll uphold your word?
Well, let's just say that where I'm from, I'm a man of my words, and that I would do anything for my friends, including making sure that no one bothers you if you promise to stay calm and just do your thing.
Now, at this point in time, Onyx is standing on the dome, right?
Yes.
He points his thumb up to Onyx and goes, "What about him?"
Hey, man, Onyx,
I'll leave you a piece.
please just get down get off the freaking dome. It's been your moto doing that, yeah? So just make sure get off.
Since we're not going to kill him, can I use him as a pet afterwards?
Now!
You guys are no fun.
I like the way Onyx thinks. All of a sudden, he's got different leashes for it. One's sparkly and bedazzled. All right. So the dragon says, "Fine. I tell you what. If you all agree to let me walk out of here, I will activate the portal for you first from here. And once you see it's activated, you let me out."
Oh, so we get to let you walk out of here.
How about another thing? You transform into, let's say, human-shaped, like I know all your can do, and you bring us to, well, we can do it for you if you let us. I believe that my friends here might have some means to transform you into a human.
Not happening. The deal is, because if you kill me, right, I die, right? If I betray you and you kill me, I die a traitor to time. So my only hope is to get out of here alive or to die fighting.
Your only hope is to cooperate.
Yeah, well, you've got the wrong perspective.
What kind of proof do I have that you're gonna send us to the right place to find our friend?
Listen, the only proof you'll get is the portal will be open. You'll be able to look through it. If it's what you want, then you can drop the stuff and let me out. Once I'm out, I'll tell you the word to walk through it safely.
That's not good enough. You're gonna have to tell us the word before we walk through it.
Not happening.
You're gonna give us everything we want before
You're
We
wrong.
let you go.
At this point, Scandal's gonna pop his head back in the room. He's gonna look around. He's gonna be like, "Hello, what's the holdup?
At the
You
end of
people
the day,
talking to this oversized handbag?"
at the end of the day, as you think you've got all the bargaining chips, your friend's going to die soon. If you don't get there soon, no luck. The only way you have to get there is me opening the portal. The only way I'm opening the portal is after I get out of this.
What are you talking about?
I'll nobly die and
You
not have
will
to worry
open
with
the
an
portal
afterlife
first.
filled with issues. I'm willing to lay my life down for that.
One
So
second.
whilst you think you have the hand, you don't. I do. And that's what the bargain is. Those terms are nothing.
What
And then
about
the
that
dragon-
letter? What
the
about
dragon-
the letter that the bigger blue man left?
The dragon curls up and sits down inside the dome, accepting the damage.
All right, guys. I don't think we have really any other. Can you think of any other way to find Basil? I think this is it.
What are you talking about?
That's. Oh, shut up, man.
Well, we have that letter. Do you not remember the dwarf that becomes a dragon? He gave us that letter. So you just sign here if you want Basil, and then I'll take you to Basil. Do you not recall the letter?
Well, it kind of looks like that. Maybe we have another option after all. Hey, big guy.
Yeah.
No,
He
not you.
He continues to ignore you.
You don't have anything else to say?
Your question is answered with silence.
I just make a hand gesture to my friends, well, to all of you guys to follow me. And I go a little further.
All right, I'll go see what Rin wants to talk to us about.
I told you we were gonna huddle up.
Hey guys, I'm super hungry. Does anybody have snacks?
Dragon steak?
Yeah,
Okay.
I gesture towards the dragon.
So what do you guys think? What would you do?
I think I'll call him Fluffy.
You know this is not gonna happen.
You can just go get Basil with the note. Am I missing something?
I think that way might be more of a trap. If we do it like that, Blue is immediately expecting us, whereas he's probably already expecting us, but our sudden appearance might be more of a surprise.
Alright, fine.
Yeah.
Then let the dragon go and let's go to get Basil. Easy as.
Okay, let's do that. I believe this is the safest way. Well, if we might or can have the upper hand in this. Also, I might turn invisible and just go scout ahead and see if there's nothing wrong in the area, in order not for us to not to be surprised by anything unfortunate.
Before you drop it, I'm gonna go next to him, so if he tries anything, I can cut him down to size.
Yeah, you can make dragon barbecue if you like, if you try something.
Filet.
Alright, I guess that's decided then. Well, I believe you can, we have a deal.
I'm still trapped.
I will stop concentrating on the wall horse.
All right, so once you do that, he steps away from where the hound is hitting him. He comes here, says a couple of words that Fenilius would recognize, and a portal opens up right on his portal. It is a doorway. It's a vertical doorway. It looks like blue electricity has slit the air and opened it up, almost like two hands are holding a side of a curtain. And through there, I'll describe what you see. So it's very pitch black, except for you do see the body of Basil chained to the back of a room. There's a few stone pillars throughout the room. There's a pedestal with a weird kind of demonic figure and a chest at the bottom of its feet, a few feet kind of in front of him. You go a few feet more in front of that, and you see a stone platform with several big steps, and at the top of the platform is a comfortable looking throne with some kind of goods laid about. The most disturbing thing about this room would be the bottom of the ground that's not on the stone platform appears to be made out of corpses, just as far as the eye can see. You can't see the floor, you just see dead bodies stacked, and they're stacked almost level, like it was on purpose, weirdly enough. Other than that, if you go a little bit further in the same direction from the stone platform, you see stairs that have two statues with spears holding them at the bottom of them, and then the stairs go up and out of view. You see that as it kind of shimmers back and forth, but that's what you see. Like I said, you do see a Basil chained to a wall.
I turn to the dragon and ask him for the password to let us go through the portal.
Don't attack me, and I'll give you the password in just a moment. You got to stay away from me, little man. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's no deal.
I'll stay 10 feet. It's okay.
Nope. You stay where you are now.
Come on, Onyx, get back. Another.
He hits the door, And he goes, "You guys already know the password." As he walks through the door, you hear him say, "It's blue."
And I flip him off as
He does the
goes
same
away.
as he leaves.
Blue hoo hoo.
And I will go through the portal, and while invisible and
Is everybody going through the portal?
Yeah, Scandal's gonna go close to last, though.
Let me ask it this way: is anybody not going through the portal? All right, you guys kind of get ported in. You find yourself stepping on the corpses of some people. The corpses are relatively fresh. Almost all of you can see, but you hear some muffled noises coming from the west. Now you guys can move, but you got to move slowly.
well, I suggest you guys let me go first since, well,
Well, if you're not going to light a torch, it doesn't matter what you want to do, because you can hardly see except for a little bit of love from Grok.
How high is the roof in here?
As you approach the dais, you notice a couple things. Some of those things mainly being how bloody the dais, especially the bottom part of it is. You see footsteps heading up to the main throne, which is empty right now. All right, everybody pause. You guys hear some brief shuffling from the west.
Quick question: where did I saw like a Basil silhouette, or which direction was it?
Give me a d20 roll. We'll see if you can figure that out.
Rainbow
dark
the
and-
tree.
It's dark and you're overwhelmed by the dead bodies beneath your feet.
So the night is dark and full of terrors.
Yes.
Scandal goes, it's a bit gloomy in here. Although, I must say, I rather think Grime might be quite comfortable in a space like this.
All right. So what's going on, guys? Why don't you use your words instead of just clicking around?
I did. I said, hey, I found a Basil.
And I see Sue is actually in the corner trying to stealth. He rolled and he got a total of 21, and he was unhappy with that roll because it was like a 4 on his dice. And then he used an inspiration to re-roll and got a 28. It was funny.
The simulacrum and Ren hear a sort of rhythmic kind of gasping, choking on air from the corner.
I'm running toward Basil, and
Let me say this:
I'll be
as you and Grok or Grok 2 come over, you see tied to the wall a very haggard-looking Basil. It looks like he's been tied to that wall for a year. His ribs are showing from lack of malnutrition. He's got scars and scrapes and cuts. He's got pieces of his hair pulled out. His clothes are tattered. He's basically wearing a loincloth. His feet and hands are broken. He's rough. Basil has been through a rough experience. Hanging on to life. His breath is shallow. And even though it seems like he acknowledges that there's somebody near him, he doesn't have the energy to greet you or to even call out for help at this point.
I think Basil needs a Robbie job.
Robbie John is rushing over.
Grok, as Grok, I want to investigate the throne.
Give me the roll.
I got a 22.
So as you investigate the throne, it looks like something off the set of That 70s Show. It's a green plaid cushion. For the most part, it's there, but you can see the chair's a little older. You definitely see what you might say is a dwarf butt implant on the cushiness of the throne. But there's nothing magical or no hidden departments or anything. You look under the cushion, there's a couple bucks and some lint and maybe like a gum wrapper.
Okay.
It does look pretty comfy though. And it's one of those weird chairs with a low back.
I was already planning on sitting in it as soon as I saw it, so
Yeah.
you don't have
It's
to
one of
tell
those.
me
It's
on
one of
that.
those chairs. Just so you know, it's a green chair. It's got a plaid design, green and white, the white plaid lines, and it's not like a regular green. It's not like a color wheel green. It's like that weird darker green, or at least it used to be. It's a little old, so it's kind of faded. It looks a little like the white's got some yellow stains from smoke. Like maybe the guy smoked an excessive amount of cigarettes. It was bought in the 70s. Don't judge. And then it's one of those chairs. Like I said, it comes up to about halfway up your back. So if you stretch over the chair, your shoulder blades are up and over the chair. If you want to put upper back support, you got to really slouch down in it. You know the type of chair.
How does that work for a turtle?
It doesn't, but that's how the chair is described because it makes me laugh. What are you guys doing over there with Basil?
I will go up to its head and put its bruised head on my knees while Ravichan does his thing.
So you guys are gonna untie him first?
I will untie him with my daggers. Don't you guys stop looking at me like this, all right?
All right. So you see, Ren basically crawls up Basil to untie his arms.
Every time you get close to his skin, you notice that he seems to involuntarily tense and it seems that now that you're this close, he's sealed his eyes shut and is gritting his teeth.
As you cut Basil down, and he kind of falls down, as you guide him down, he just looks rough. He barely is cognizant of you being there. He's in his own mental place right now. What are you doing, Rabbi Jan? This is as near death as you've ever seen anybody who's not dead.
Rabijan would like to use the spell Heal.
Okay, go ahead and cast it.
So that's 70 points of healing to Basil.
So, Basil, you feel healing energy flow into you again, as you felt many, many times over the last little bit. And it triggers the knowledge that knowing probably next is going to be at least that much damage coming back to you.
Yeah.
And it sends you into almost a panic attack. And you guys see Basil kind of flinching and trying to cover up into maybe a fetal position as he expects pain to come after the healing.
You've already tried that one, Blue. I would ask that you respect my intelligence. I won't fall for it again.
Mr. Basil, Rabijan is not blue. Rabijan's more of a tan color. Rabijan isn't going to hurt you.
When you start to speak, he seems to tense up even more and curls into even tighter of a ball. And he says, you just sort of hear him whispering, "It's not real. It's not real. It's not real."
While they're over there, Onyx takes out his sunblade and ignites it and starts shining it over the bodies. It's like going, and then stabbing some every so often, going, "Are you dead?
Onyx, I think they're definitely dead.
If I didn't do that."
He's now healed, right? He looks like properly unbruised and well enough to travel, right?
He is physically healed.
Yeah.
You saw the wounds close. Well enough to travel is a whole nother sentence.
Come on, man. Come
on.
on.
Mr. Bryn, I think you need to use a small amount of patience.
Get up
I
now.
know this isn't the best time, but Rabijan doesn't think pulling on Basil is going to help.
Yeah, well, I don't want to face a dragon right now. With one of our friends being down on the ground like this, we should get the hell out of here right now. Onyx, could you please just, put Basil on your shoulder or something? Just grab him.
So put everybody over in one area. So when Blue shows himself, we're all in one area together.
Is the portal still open? Am I missing something?
No, the portal's closed.
Oh.
I want to check out this chest right here, too. Is that a chest? What is that?
Yeah, it is a chest right there.
Yeah, I want to check out the chest.
Make me a roll.
Ravi-chan, do you have a greater restoration stored up in you, by chance?
Rabi-chan, why don't you give me a medicine check? All right, Grok, with an investigation roll of 7, that chest is fine. It looks fine. It's a pretty chest. It's probably got fun stuff in there.
And it's definitely not a mimic.
Definitely not a mimic. 100% not a mimic.
What about the medicine roll of 7?
Medicine roll of 7. You're baffled. You have no idea why Basil isn't just better because you put a lot of healing into him.
That makes sense.
He continued chanting, has kind of just trailed off into a near constant but very quiet mumbling.
Come on, man, it's us. Please, snap out of it.
Rabijan would like to try a greater restoration on Mr. Basil.
Do you have that spell?
Indeed I do, and it is prepped.
And it is prepped. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cast it. Basil, you feel more divine energy flow into you, and you feel a little less exhausted, but everything else remains the same.
With his newfound strength, he gasps and now is able to meekly push your bodies away from him, still refusing to look up at you.
Is the chest unlocked?
Or you don't think it's locked?
Okay, then I'll wait.
All right, so what's going on, guys? What can we do? Basil is shivering in the corner, rolled away with his back towards you guys. The simulacrum Grok is looking at a chest. The regular Grok's looking at a chair. Onyx is stabbing random bodies. Sue is like a Batman over there in the corner, waiting the night. And Scandal is just kind of like, well, we're here, I'm done.
Yep.
Rin will reach the Grok simulacrum, inspect the chest, and see if there's any way to open it without triggering something, and if there is something at all. And it will He will tell Rabijan to take care of Basil before he leaves. Doesn't seem to be able to make him snap out of it.
Yeah, there's no lock and it's not trapped.
It's not locked nor trapped.
Right. You believe it's unlocked and not trapped.
I already knew that. I checked.
I wanted to
Having
make sure.
having confidence in his own skills.
I open the chest.
Inside the chest, you see one thing. You see the ring that Abel gave Basil the last time Abel and Basil chatted.
I pick it up.
Okay. You now are holding a ring that Abel gave Basil.
And I'm gonna take the chest and put it in my turtle shell.
Okay.
It's such a weird turtle with
okay.
like dimensional pocket in its back. And I'm gonna move forward and reach Basil again and present him the ring. See if there's any reaction to the object or.
He doesn't. He's rolled
the
over
fed
in
on
the
it.
fetal. He doesn't even see you holding it over to him.
I would take one of his hands and try to gently make sure he sees it. I take one of
Still
his
very
hands out
weak,
of
but he
his
tries
face.
his best to resist you manipulating his arms at all. He just tries to tuck them further into his body.
Hey, Ren, that's not
Ren,
Matilda. You're giving the wrong person a ring.
Ren just like turn around, look at Onyx, just pull his hands up into the sky, being like, all like, what the frell, man? This is the worst time ever to make Matilda's joke.
Well,
Like,
if
why don't
he
you
knows that
come
you're
over here
trying to-
and help me instead of just come over here?
if he knows you're going to be proposing to Matilda, he may know you're really you.
Dude, please stop. Like, no, not now. Later if you want, but like, not now.
I get to be the best man?
Sure, you can be the best, whatever you like. Aaron just rolls over his eyes and be like, oh, what the hell is this?
So, are you guys putting
please.
that ring on Basil?
Not directly on Basil, I would just want him to see it.
Rabbi John would like to try to give Basil a drink of water from her decanter of endless water.
I mean, Basil is kind of rank right now.
Despite how desperately thirsty he is, he again is resolute and tries his best to hold his lips shut tight and shakes his head as quickly as he can in this state. Even if water pours over him, he will try his best not to open his mouth.
I'll get him.
I go over to him.
Shh, it's okay.
And I pick him up like a baby and carry him out.
This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but it's satisfying. At least he's not on the island cadavers anymore. Although being in Onyx's arms,
I have an idea of a safe place to put him.
Hey, not in your shell.
Never mind.
That's just totally weird.
As Onyx picks Basil up, there's sounds of protest, like, but he is wriggling, but it's really weak. He has not the strength.
Shh, it's okay. Go to sleep.
Before we leave, I want to sit on his throne.
Do ya?
Rabbi John feels like that's a very, very bad.
Hold on. Before anybody gives him advice, does Grok sit on the throne?
No, Grok said before
Why
we
would you
leave,
do
I
that?
want to sit on the throne.
So do you do it?
I hear nobody arguing that I shouldn't do it, so yeah.
Perfect. Grok, give me a Constitution saving throw. Okay, everything's fine.
27.
Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about.
And I'm going to proclaim myself king of the world. I am king of the world.
When you finish that sentence, give me a Wisdom saving throw. Everything's fine.
24.
Peachy.
Okay, guys, let's get out of here. So how do we leave?
Normally through a door.
I don't see any portals around here, and we don't have Fenilius.
Oh, you want to leave? Oh, we're ready to go. I mean, Fenilius isn't the only person that can teleport people.
You got something there, Scandal?
Yes, well, how do you bloody well think I followed you to that goodness knows where? Hang on, I should do a head count.
You like his beard.
How many of you are there, including the raggedy one?
One.
Shouldn't expect you to be able to count higher than that, I suppose.
That's how many there are of me.
Well, I'm just saying I could teleport 9 of us at a time.
7.
So there's how many of you lot? Sorry.
8 plus you.
Oh yes, 9 in total is the maximum amount I can teleport us. So I mean, if you want to go out to the cozy hand-holding way, that's probably our best bet, I'd think. Oh, okay. Everyone get in the love circle. We're going home.
10 if you count Blue.
Ravijan doesn't think we count that.
And I do have Basil with me.
And are you teleporting to the humble beginning?
I'd like to attempt to cast teleport with all these losers back to the humble beginnings.
Oh, did you call them losers?
Yeah, I did.
You have an interesting set of skills, Scandal.
Nobody touch a hit point. Nobody touch a spell slot, or I will delete you.
Hey there, welcome to the mid-roll. Well, it looks like we found Basil and rescued him after all. His mental condition is still on the mend, but hopefully we'll figure that out soon as well. I just want to thank you listeners for, well, listening and telling your friends about us too. We appreciate all of you and the little things you do to help us. I mean, it only takes maybe like 30 seconds to leave a review, and that little bit of effort, we truly appreciate it. So, thank you. You know where to find us: Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, all over the place. So thank you, and let's get back to the show.
Alright, you guys, poof, back to the humble beginnings. Instead of coming into the teleportation room like normal, you go right into the main eating area where you get plopped down. Welcome home. It's late. Nobody's in there except for Nina. Nina's passed out.
The Scandal gets up and dusts himself off and says, "Yeah, sorry, I don't use the teleportation circles. They charge an awful rate. I'm not paying that."
You guys do
Basil
your home.
vomits.
Basil vomits. That's what you're doing.
Alright, so now that we're back in the humble beginnings, there's more light, I presume. I want to give Basil a better look over. And, not just try and, determine his wounds, but I don't trust Blue to just give us Basil this easily. So I want to make sure this is Basil.
Interesting. So you're wanting to make a medicine check to see if that's Basil?
Or
an investigation check?
Maybe
whatever. Let's do this. Let's do a perception check on Basil.
Put Basil down here.
On faux Basil.
Basil.
Oh no, Basil, you're still in my arms like a little baby.
Oh, true. I'll put him. Here you go. He's next to you.
That's a 20.
It looks like Basil. It smells like Basil. It's certainly not acting like Basil.
Actually, it smells much worse than Basil usually smells.
Not really. No, not really. That's about normal for you.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like Basil, but definitely not acting like him. Maybe he's been ensorcelled. Perhaps Blue put some sort of, not a feeble mind, obviously, but some sort of spell that is affecting him.
Sure. Or he's a little bit traumatized, and I don't know. This is usually what happens to people when you torture them for that long. Not that I would know.
Ravijan thinks that's very suspicious. And then she's also going to cast Dispel Magic on the might be Basil.
Go ahead and spin the spell slot.
You fool! It was me, Rosemary, this whole time! You idiots!
I don't know who Rosemary is, but I'm interested in you playing that character sometime. You cast the spell, and it's cast. And there he is.
Alright.
Onyx is just sitting there. I'm rocking him back and forth.
It seems to... It doesn't seem to necessarily quell the whole total nightmare for him, but he does seem to whimper a little bit less loudly.
Anytime you whimper, I'm like, shh.
You gotta understand, Onyx is an experienced father now.
That's true.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to play him the lullaby.
Your machinations are sick, Blue.
I'm gonna wake up Nina to tell her we've got Basil.
You go over, and how do you wake up Nina?
I'm not gonna touch her. I know better. Let's go over and be like, Nina, it's time for a drink. Also, Basil's here.
And she kind of waves an arm over her head, and you hear snoring again.
Just tell her free ale.
Roland, do you want me to wake her up?
Yes, please. I'm gonna step back first, though.
Yeah, step away from her. She's not gonna be happy with me. I'm gonna use minor illusion to create a trumpet sound next to her head.
She reaches over and grabs a stool and throws it at the direction wherever the trumpet was coming from. The stool bounces off the ceiling and pieces of wood splinter.
For the record, it's coming from the north on this map.
Okay. She goes, "What? Ugh.
We have Basil.
I'm not cooking."
No. Basil, the monk, or Flippy Boi.
Shh,
You gotta wake him up.
Did you guys lose Basil? What? Oh, hold on.
Well, now that you mention it, Basil and monkfish does sound divine right now.
I'm pretty sure you sent us to go get him back, Nina.
Hold on, I'm waking up. I haven't showered. My breath is still funky.
Oh, yes, because you normally fix that.
Can Robbie John use the 5-gallon feature from her decanter of endless water?
Are you gonna spray Nina down?
Yes, she said she wanted a shower.
Yeah, you certainly can. I don't know. I didn't know you guys woke up and chose death this morning.
Robbie John's gonna sit. Okay, on the map it shows Robbie John around the corner of the bar, and she's gonna crouch down, kind of behind the bar, to use as cover, and then she's going to whisper "fountain" when she uncorks the decanter, and she's gonna point it at Nina.
All right, so water gushes out from this decanter of endless water, which is appropriately named, and goes spraying. The water splashes on Nina, not moving her an inch. And when the water stops, she's glaring right at you as you peek your little cat eyes above the bar. And Nina goes, "That's what we're doing?"
Miss Nina, Mr. Basil is dying.
So, we'll get to him in a second if he survives. I'll give you a choice, kitty cat.
Miss Nina.
A choice.
The choices are what?
I can violently react to what you did right now. And I mean violently. You notice she's holding her club. Or you can skip breakfast tomorrow.
Club it is.
Robbie John. Robbie John will skip breakfast.
You're an honest and kind person. But if you're lying, I will know.
Robbie John knows.
Okay. Thank you for the shower. Probably not the wisest choice.
Scandal's gonna...
If Robbie John could have warmed it, she would have.
You, Scandal.
Yeah, as she's talking to him, he's hopping over the bar and looking for
Nina,
something to
if
drink.
you're cold, I can warm you up.
You know, Scandal, I have a large influence on what jobs go to what people, right?
Yes. Well aware. He's like sifting through, looking for something good to
Now,
drink.
you may have made a joke about the hygiene.
Oh, one second. He
The
pulls out
farmer's
a
ass.
bottle, he takes a big swig, and then he does a spit take, and he says, "The cat's going to skip breakfast."
We found him, and then Robbie John healed him, but not much happened.
She goes,
So
he looks fine.
try talking to him and see what happens.
Flippy Boi.
Well, that's what's wrong with him.
I do have one of his rings.
What do you have?
The one him show it to her.
Have you tried putting it on? You know what? I don't think. I think I'll let you guys. Basil, do you mind if they hear what's going to happen next? You slip the ring on. Basil, everything's going to be fine now.
I rush over to me, and I kneel by his side and I say, and it's just like that. It's all just words that can't be formed.
He reaches up and weakly puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, "Listen," and he's really broken, and he's exhausted, and he goes, "It's gonna be fine. They're all still alive. Just go protect your friends." And then he kind of curls up and to the corner of the little ring room, and his breathing just slowly slows and eventually stops.
Basil stays by his side for as long as he is able to, and he whispers under his breath, "No, that our friends. Thank you."
And then a few moments later, you slowly start to regain consciousness, and as you open your eyes, you find yourself being cradled by Onyx, as he rocks you back and forth and coos you affectionately.
Hello?
Mr. Basil?
I crane my neck over to see Rabajon, and I, bundled up by Onyx, try and like move my hand to wave, and I go, "Hello, Rabajon."
Hello, Basil. It's good to see you.
It is a pleasure to see you all again.
Hey, he's awake.
Oh, good, he's back. See us, and Sue leaves.
The Basil just sort of like stays in Onyx's grasp. Not kind of. It's like a bit awkward because like he doesn't know. How do you easily say, "Hey, you can let go of me now"? It's kind of weird, right? So he's just kind of staying there, and he's, but he is looking around at you guys, and tears do well up in his eyes. To be honest, I was really worried I wasn't going to see any of you again.
Well, we're just glad he's gotten you out of there. We don't know where Blue is.
Well,
Oh,
either way,
but I
I'm
will find
deeply
him.
sorry.
Rabijan is gonna put her paw on Basil's shoulder and kind of like get down to his level, and she wants to look him in the eyes and just be like, "Mr. Basil, are you okay?"
I think I'm the best a Basil can be right now.
We should probably get him up to his room.
My room would be lovely, much cozier than my previous abode. But
Onyx, still carrying him, walks him up the stairs over to his room.
Onyx, big strong man.
Ren will instantly leave the room, leave the humble beginning, and he's going to try to reach out to his organization to see if it's possible to maybe, while describing the room and where it has been and how he got there, maybe if there's any clue that could be found within the ranks of his organization, to see if we can find Blue somewhere.
Okay, you're gonna do the "I got a guy" thing.
I am gonna do the I've got a guy thing.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything tonight besides Ren?
Scandal's drinking.
Perfect.
Onyx is going to sit outside of Basil's door after he puts him in bed and tucks him in. He's going to then go and sit and basically guard his door all night.
So then let's do this. We'll get to you in just a second, Joe. Wait, somebody was going to say something. Anybody do anything else tonight?
I was just going to say that Roland is going to be drinking with Scandal.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the homunculus hang out with Basil.
Anything else? Last call.
Last thing I'll say is while they're drinking, Scandal looks at Rona and goes, "Yeah, Basil guy's got a pretty annoying voice, hasn't he? Jesus. I didn't think I could listen to that any longer."
Okay, so is the homunculus going to be in the room with Basil?
Yeah.
Okay. As the door closes and Onyx sits down, and you guys nestle in for the night, Onyx falls asleep pretty swiftly, and the homunculus, you lose contact with him briefly. Basil, as the door shuts and you're laying in your bed, behind the door you see Abel standing there. He steps out and he goes, "I think you have something that belongs to me."
Abel, did you know that this is how things were going to be?
That was the first you.
Well, I have to say I'm quite a fan of him.
He almost died trying to save everybody else. In front of his eyes, he slowly watched everybody die and get murdered, one by one. He was the only one I got to in time to save, put him in the ring. It was not a good existence for him, and he just asked to be able to save his friends. I promised him I would find a way to get him to help out. So when I gave it to you, I was meddling in a pretty known outcome of your history. Usually, and by usually, every time we've come to this point in your story, you've been dead. Out of the 4,000 and some odd attempts at getting this done, this is the longest you've survived. You've given yourself a gift of life with the hopes that you'll protect your friends with it. It's a big responsibility, and you're kind of a jerk for doing yourself that way. That's why I had the ring. You asked me to do it.
Right.
If you don't mind, I'd like to have a token of my friend back now.
I slowly take off the ring, and I just sort of look at it for a second, and as I go to hand it out to Abel, I say, "I owe you this, and I still owe you a painting, or 2 or 3, or, well, I suppose I'll get to that."
You will. Just so you know, I've always liked you.
I I really appreciate that.
You go to sleep. You've had a rough day. And then he steps back into the shadow behind the door and disappears.
Basil just lays down and drifts near immediately off to sleep.
Perfect. Once Abel steps back into the shadow, you regain knowledge of your homunculus. Onyx, you still asleep. But you're like asleep on the door. Your back's on the door.
Okay.
Protective mother-like. Scandal and Ron and Nina have a good time drinking. Oh, excuse me, Scandal, Roland, and Nina have a good time
Well, if
drinking.
you want, Scandal can turn into Ron, so don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
No problem. And with that, Fenilius, now that you've done, your work is done, you're free to do whatever you'd like to do now.
Awesome. I go rest.
You are probably 2 levels of exhaustion in. A level. It'll go away with your rest.
All right.
Basil, remember what I told you earlier?
Yeah.
So this will be a total of 2 levels off.
So I go up 2 levels. I go, down 2 levels
You're at
in
level 2.
exhaustion. I'm at level 2. Okay.
Yeah. Your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on ability checks when you wake up.
Ah, shit, my speed is half. That means I only move at 35 speed per round. That sucks.
Shut your face.
Oh darn, normal speed. Oh,
I'm so slow now. What the heck? 35 speed?
Alright,
That
well,
sucks.
Still faster than me.
give me a percentile dice roll, Rin.
Rin rolled a 32.
Okay. Everybody goes to sleep and wakes up the next morning. We're all alive.
Yay.
Are we?
Mostly. Everybody is now in the breakfast area of the Humble Beginnings. Fenilius, you've been summoned with the announcement that Basil's back and safe to breakfast at the Humble Beginnings.
I happily show up.
Perfect. You get there. Everybody's down. Basil looks like he's been through some stuff, but he's overall okay. And everybody's eating, except for Nina, who's asleep at her spot.
Robbie John
And-
is not eating. Robbie John is not eating.
You're not eating? You don't want to eat, Robbie John? Your gnome shows up and starts to lay out his typical everything breakfast, just all your favorite things. He's been making breakfast for you for a while now, so he's really got you down. Like, every literal favorite food is being placed in front of you, and you can see the steam rising from the breakfast treats, and there's fresh handmade syrups and fluffy cremes on things, and fresh fruits covered in fruity stuff.
Robbie John is going to sadly put a paw on his arm as he's loading the table and say, "Can you please stop what you're doing?" And
He looks horrified.
Maybe
Is it not good? Am I not doing a good job for you?
You are doing wonderful, but I need to speak to Mr. Abel. It's very important and urgent.
So you don't want any falafels?
Leafwood is here for now because Robbie John is wondering if you can please contact Mr. Abel. Nothing is wrong with you. Robbie John just really needs to talk to Mr. Abel real fast.
But what about the omelet bar? He points to the corner of the Humble Beginnings where he's got an omelet bar set up.
She's gonna eyeball it very hard.
I went and picked the eggs this morning. Don't tell Mr. O'Malley.
Robbie John feels like that needs to be addressed. However, Robbie John really needs to speak to Mr. Abel right now. Can you go please call him, Mr. Abel, guys, sir, please?
I learned how to make crepes. I was going to make you some crepes this morning. You know you make those with delicious fresh fruit?
Robbie John is about to have a complaint in a minute. If Mr. Breakfast Gnome doesn't call Mr. Abel, guys, sir, if he can.
I don't really have the ability to call him. I just kind of do what I'm told.
That's fair. Take Robbie John wants you just to take a break. Everything is fine. You can leave everything where it's at. But Robbie John needs to wait. Robbie John has a bag of holding. Okay, so Robbie John is going to ask the breakfast gnome if he could load up whatever into this bag of holding that she has. Whatever he can fit.
He almost looks offended. He's like, you don't like my food anymore?
Robbie John loves your food. However, Bobby John made a deal so as not to get physical pain from Miss Nina this morning, and that required not eating breakfast. And Robbie John's really sad, but she would love to have all of this for lunch.
You want me to cook your lunch today instead of breakfast?
You know what? That's better. Robbie John would like that.
Okay.
Real quick. And Roland is apparently a little hungover. I don't mind me. I'm just going to head over to this omelet bar before you take it down.
And he goes, no! And puts it all away. And takes off. I'm just kidding. He gives the food that he's already prepared to everybody in the humble beginnings. So not only are you not eating, but you're watching everybody else eat your amazing gourmet breakfast. Okay, so that happens. Everybody comes together. Brett comes down, and he goes, hey, I was hoping he was gone for a while. And he kind of pokes Basil in the ribs.
Basil goes, ow!
Don't be such a princess.
It just hasn't been used in a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Never mind, not making that joke. Hold on. Cool. Adult places, Ricky. Sorry. Better now. He goes, what are you guys gonna do now?
Basil looks sheepishly around at the rest of his party, not knowing what state their quest is in, because, time's been a bit for him. And he kind of messed things up, so he's, just kind of seeing what the room temperature is.
He goes, now that you went and got this chucklehead who decided to have a conversation with an evil old dragon, what are you guys going to do now that side trap is done?
This is some of the best bacon I've had in a long time.
Holy crap, I don't really like crepes, but watch me shovel all these ones in my mouth hole.
Thumbs down to all of you.
I like to start every day with a nice filling breakfast.
Yeah, Robbie John does too, but,
Thank you.
After the gnome leaves, Nina comes stumbling up with a plate of food, and she sits down next to you, Robbie Jan. She's got a fork and a knife, and she looks you straight in the eyes, and she grabs a piece of bacon with her fork, and then she slides the plate over to you as she eats the bacon and goes, it's okay, you can eat. Promise. Deal's off.
Robbie John is not sure what to think.
Robbie John, let me just say, you can eat the food or I can put the food inside you.
Robbie John will eat the food on her own, thank you.
Okay, enjoy. She slaps you on the back. She takes another piece of your bacon and walks away. Let's see. We have some stuff out there to resolve.
I want to go check on my iron golem.
Yeah, it's not here yet. All right, and so Ren, you got some information, and you have people looking now. You put you put it out that you're trying to find that room, that dragon, anything you can do to get the blue, and so you've got the Ren network out there doing what they can. I'll get you information as it comes in.
It's the Realm Intelligence Network.
Yeah, RN. Ren. Did that on purpose. It's Ren squared. Alright. Then, what are you guys going to do? So Breck sits down and goes, seriously, guys, what do you guys got for the future? You got this cult thing, and you got the trifecta thing with Gables, and what's going on?
I would really like to be filled in on what's the current situation. I've been out of action for,
Yeah.
Okay.
And because of you being a jackwagon, that's all they've been working on, is making you not gone. Because you decided, hey, I'm going to go talk to a big old scary dragon by myself because I'm a silly man.
Basil very sheepishly sort of looks down at his plate, gulps. Yes, no, I do agree. I have to say I'm surprised that you all were able to deal with Blue so effectively.
Yeah, how did that go? Did you guys kill a dragon?
Only one.
So then Blue he's gone?
Yeah,
Oh, no. No, it was a small baby one.
Huh?
And they let another one go. I was gonna make him my pet and call him Fluffy.
But you didn't need to slay Blue?
I'm still looking for him.
Oh.
He wasn't around when we found you.
Oh. Wow.
It was
I don't know
quite,
what to make of that.
Yeah, it was quite mysterious. It's a little too easy, now that I think about it. That makes me a little uncomfortable.
He's scared of us.
And I kind of doubt that.
He should be scared of us.
I have to say I don't understand it. I don't know why he seemed quite adamant on keeping me around.
I could tell.
This is confusing. Perhaps worry that there's more to this that we don't understand. But I mean, how did you escape? We escaped. I wasn't exactly mentally present.
Scandal, actually. He had a spell prepared, similar to Cornelius's teleport, but oddly different.
Scandal?
And I
You
carried
mean
you.
the shady character I see around the place every now and then?
And that's the one. He's really not that bad. I had a few drinks with him last night.
Oh, well, you'll have to give him my thanks then. I suppose I had written him off too soon.
Eh.
So, if you were just able to teleport out, then perhaps Blue was not expecting that sort of an escape. Although, I suppose that doesn't really make much sense, but nonetheless.
He still could have possibly been there hiding. Probably thought we might have been going a different way. He was ready to tail us, or I don't know.
Perhaps it would be worthwhile to check in on Dabolda. He seemed to sort of have it in his head that he was trading me for not destroying all of Dabolda. So perhaps he just decided that the deal was off.
We could always scry.
Perhaps. I don't really know.
Do you suppose Ron is still out in Dibolda, or did he come back to the town?
I don't know. I've been here for a few hours.
That's fair. I'm sorry, Basil.
No. It's okay. I do think that we would have heard him by now, though.
That's a valid point as well. Yes, okay. I would like to cast Scry on Ron the monk.
Let's hope he's not in an outhouse.
Your vision zooms in on a small building with a moon carved into the front of it. You go through the door, and you see Ron sitting there playing with a snake. No, he's
Why is Ron playing with a snake in the bathroom? Excuse me?
What? Everybody's different. Don't judge.
We got a lower bone naga deal going on here.
He's you see him. He's in Dibaldar doing stuff.
Does that stuff involve fighting a dragon again?
No, he's not fighting a dragon. You do see a giant dragon skull. No, I'm kidding. He's just in Dibaldar helping him rebuild.
Okay, so I'll stop concentrating. Yes, Basil, everything looks fine. Right now, Ron's just doing errands or something. No sign of Blue that I saw.
He visibly relaxes and says, That's good to hear. Perhaps in retrospect it would have made more sense to scry on Blue, though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Brack looks at you again and goes, "So what are you guys gonna do with your future, Vanillius? What are you guys gonna be doing from now out?"
I plan to spend my time researching and preparing and waiting for information on what we need to do next.
I think we have two options. We either stop Blue once and for all, or get a hold of Abel and see what he's made of the trio of things.
The triofecta.
The trio of effort.
The persistent triangles.
Babijan can call Mr. Abel if that's what everybody wants to do.
Weird. She can just do that. Weird.
Well, she can try.
Are you gonna call Abel?
Does everybody else want to do that?
Basil will nod as though he thinks it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so then Babijan is gonna kind of like shuffle her feet and look at the floor and say, Mr. Abel, guys, sir, Babijan needs to talk to you, please. Thank you, bye.
And in the chair next to you, where Nina was until very recently sitting. Abel appears and he goes, "Hi, can I see the book?"
The book?
Yeah, you know, your journal. Can I see it?
Why? Rabijan is going to raise an eyebrow at him, but then she will give him her journal and kind of just do it slowly, squinting at him like she's not sure what he's gonna do.
He takes it softly, opens it, and just reads it from where he read last time, catching up on the new biz. And he goes, "All right, here you go." Gives it back to you after he reads it because he reads very quickly, as we have established. And he says, "What can I do for you?"
So we were wondering about the triangle trio thingies that we were collecting stuff for the thing for you to do the whatever with.
You've collected. I've got it. I've got them all. I'm working on preparing the spells right now.
Okay, maybe Rabijan is wondering maybe how long the spells take to prepare. Just curious.
A couple of years.
Sorry, did you say years?
Oh yeah, these are very complicated spells.
Okay. Rabijan wonders what maybe Mr. Abel thinks Rabijan should do in the meantime, and her friends.
But you still got the cult to finish getting rid of. Remember, you need to pretty much eliminate them. And then apparently you've decided to piss off ancient dragons. I imagine you're going to have a confrontation with Blue relatively soon. It's probably going to be ready for that. Honestly, I've seen this play out a lot of times. You were probably going to have a conflict with them without you doing that weird sacrificial move.
Basil just sinks further into his chair.
Well, guys, Mr. Abel has spoken. Anybody else have anything you need to ask?
Roland just shakes his head. Yeah. No, I'm good. Cheers, Abel.
Okay. Rabijan is wondering if Mr. Abel has any current information on the cult and maybe some whereabouts.
Well, as far as the cult, again, the fingers have fallen as far as into anarchy and self-fighting and infighting. You just need to take out probably the top 3 or 4 people of the cult, which is great because I think you guys have got some unfinished business with most of them anyway.
Would that involve Geyser?
He's kind of doing his own thing. He mainly stays away from them now that it's not a big organization.
I see.
It'll be a nice family reunion for a couple of you.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yes.
Rabijan is sorry to bother you, Mr. Abel Geyser.
You can bother me anytime you like.
So do we want to take the rest of the day to rest a little more and maybe get some supplies before we go and handle the yucky cult?
I'm sure Basil could definitely use more rest before we head out on any missions.
As much as I would like to say that I can go out and start being useful again, Roland is correct. I am quite exhausted. Perhaps even exhausted twice, you may describe it as.
Double exhausted. Well, in that case, Rabijan is going to go back into the kitchen and wave at her gnome friend because she is thoroughly ready for lunch already. She only had 1 plate of breakfast. It was not enough.
He's busy. He ignores you. I'm just kidding. As soon as you say lunch, he starts popping out, and burgers and steaks and nachos and all sorts of stuff just starts getting made. But this is a good point where it's a good time for you players to, amongst yourselves, figure out what's going to happen next. You've got a few plot hooks out there that you can pursue. You've got Blue, you've got the cult. Some information will be coming from some of the stuff that you made for both of those. But what do you guys want to do in preparation? Or what do you guys think is the most pertinent thing you should go after? What do you guys want to do as a guild next?
I say we go after Blue next, because the last thing that we want is Blue ambushing us while we're trying to deal with something else.
Or Blue going on a rampage.
Kind of feel like if we go after the cult, we're gonna run into him anyway, so it could be like 2 birds, 1 stone.
Did I hear somebody mention my clan?
But perhaps then there is some overlap in the cult and Blue's interests. But I suppose altogether our best course of action would be to try and actively gather as much information on our targets as possible. I suppose if we know where we can find Blue, we can start with him. But we also need information on where we can find the top brass of what's left of the cult.
Agreed. Yeah, we should. Well, we should reach out for that information. Do we know anybody who can find information? Maybe somebody who, I don't know, knows a guy or something.
I can't think of anyone. No. Well, I have half an idea, but I'm not certain.
All right, guys. So what's the plan? What would you like to do?
I mean, I guess we could try and do some individual research.
Onyx is all ready to go after the cult because, whenever he first came in, that was his mission, and he wants to finish that.
I think then maybe what we could do as a plan of action could be, because I don't know how long it would take for Rin to get information, but maybe as the Defenders of the Vale, we can sort of go around, talk to the citizens of Center Vale, have a talk to them about how things are, because last time we found out about the cult, it was in direct relation to them meddling in the everyday affairs of the people in town, so maybe if we wanted to get some information, it would be helpful to talk to the citizens. And also just probably talk to them in general, because,
I don't know. I mean, that was more than 4 years ago, or around then.
That's true, but I mean of any sort of new happenings.
I wonder.
I'm not super certain what we should do.
Wonder if I have. Yeah, I have like speak with the animals if there's. But I mean, like talk to like Squirrel Spy Network or like crows or something. Things that could have gone far and wide and seen some stuff.
Ooh.
Would Phenalius have anything that could be useful finding information out about the current whereabouts and stuffs of the cult?
I mean, I doubt it. We haven't really had nothing. We haven't had any information about the cult more than what everybody already knows. So if Phenalius has it, he hasn't been given it yet.
We're going to go ahead and end the episode there. Thanks for coming along and listening to us play some Dungeons & Dragons. We hope you had a good time. And join us next time with Defenders of the Vale as we try to find dragons to slay.
Hi, this is Mallory. I do the voice of Robbie John, and I wanted to say thank you for joining us for another episode of Defenders of the Vale. If you would like to hear more of Defenders of the Vale, you can find us at Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, and pretty much anything else that plays podcasts. You can also find us on Twitter at Defenders Vale and Facebook, Defenders of the Vale. Our episodes come out weekly, and we would love for you to share us with your friends. We hope that you will join us again soon. Thanks again.
All right, so welcome back to Defenders of the Vale. Nope.
Defenders of the Vale.
Accurate.
Thank you.
There you go. Here's your post roll for this.
That's it.
You can do that, and then you can put some of those jokes I did.
Like the President of the United States mispronouncing United States.
Well, Robbie Jan, what type of language are you typing in chat there? That's
English.
Well, you should be selective about what type of English words you use. I'm gonna have to give you disadvantage.
I am always very selective of the words that I use.
So you said that on
you need
purpose?
to give me disadvantage for
Yes, I
listening to
said
too much rap music.
Nagas on purpose.
No, it's probably I'm gonna avoid these creatures for the rest of existence now. All right.
Yep.
Robbie Jan, you can go, and you don't have to say the name of the creature you're attacking. You can just attack the bony serpent-like creature that has a name that we're not going to use.
The Bone Boys.
FYI, that was the most uncomfortable way you probably could have phrased that.
I'm in my break room, right? Real side story, because we've been super focused today. I'm in my break room at work one day, and I bought churros from Jack in the Box, and I had set some out so for my coworkers could have some. And churros are little cinnamon, sugary sticks of joy with like fat cream inside of them, and it's just all the sugar. It's as sugary as an American treat as you can get. And so she's standing there, super healthy, very fit chick. She's looking at the churros like, I don't know if I want one. They look so good, but I don't know if we should have one. So I'm sitting there eating my McDonald's because healthy. And I get tired of listening to her, him and haw about if she's going to eat it. And I look at her, At the moment that my regional manager is walking into the break room, I make eye contact with her and I say, "Shut up and put it in your mouth."
No.
Regional manager just opens the door. She looks at me, looks at her, and then backs out and shuts the door in front of her.
Ricky, speaking of eating healthy and stuff like that, I've lost enough weight that I could stand straight up, look down, and see my feet again.
Nice, good job.
That's
I'm
awesome,
about-
man.
I'm about 10 pounds down.
It's only
I'm-
10 inches down below him, but you can see his feet.
The only thing that I have done is I have been conscious about how much sugar I'm intaking, and I quit drinking soda.
That'll do it, man. Sugar's
Yeah.
a rough thing. All right, so hold on. Before you stop concentrating, as you zoom in and you see him, he pauses for a second. He looks over his shoulder at where your consciousness would be, and he goes,
He's achieving true monkhood.
I want to see proof of that save. No.
Well, he doesn't. When it comes to you, who he's got such a personal connection with, he doesn't have to save.
That's true.
If you could do me a
Robert-chan,
favor, Mallory, the player, if you could just list off your like 5 favorite breakfast foods.
I won't do that.
Come on, do it. Come on, Mal.
Bacon,
Mallory.
eggs,
Mallory.
waffles, crepes,
Mm.
and a side of gyro meat.
Nice. There's a Waffle House over by me, and the W light was out, so it was the Awful House for a while.
That's accurate.
Is that a new icon for Greg, or has Greg always been like a weird dog bear?
That's the same one.
Okay. All right.
Like a dog bear thing with like a microphone in front of it.
All right. How's everybody doing? It's been a long time.
It has
Great, you.
been a hot minute.
And a cold joke. None of these other jokes are good. This is a Basil joke.
Mhm.
Sorry, this is a Saul joke. What did the bartender say to the turkey sandwich when it tried to order a beer? Sorry, we don't serve food here.
Oh no. How is that a me joke?
Because I feel like that's the kind of punny, horrible mess you would throw at us.
Maybe.
Oh my god. Last joke, and then we'll get serious. What's the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu?
I don't know.
You just don't like where any of the one requires a tweetment and the other one an ointment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess.
Hey, Ricky, you want to hear a
I
bad
guess it
joke?
does.
Yeah, what you got?
I just heard you.
What the heck?
How rude.
Boom.
How can you tell it's a dogwood tree? By the bark.
Yay.
Hey, Basil,
Uh-huh.
why do seagulls fly over the sea?
I don't know.
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
Bagels. Now I'm hungry.
I just did every horrible joke. I'm like, I can't do them again, but I can click on another link full of crappy jokes. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer.
No. No, I don't want to.
Hey, why did the baby strawberry cry?
Oh no.
His parents were in a jam.
I
Why wouldn't the shrimp share his treasure?
don't know.
He was shellfish.
Yes.
What an asshole.
Hey, do you guys hear about the kidnapping at school? It's fine. They woke up.
Oh, what is this? Cuss. That's what
Well, at least we now get mid-roll.
We're taking care of that, yeah.
The crappy
we
jokes. The crappy jokes. Oh, Ricky.
Nope, straight to the cutting room floor.
Why did the teddy bear say no to dessert? Because she was stuffed.
Okay, now you can stop.
I can't. Rick's not here.
The jokes are starting to wear off.
My wife walked by and looked at me in shame and shook her head at all the jokes. My little sister texted me and said, "Hey, are you guys recording that? Like you're going to put it on the internet?"
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Clearly in disgust.
Yeah.
Hey guys, why does Waldo wear stripes?
Why
Because he doesn't want to be spotted.
Okay.
Rick, you back yet? I joked him to death. I told so many bad jokes, he just left. He quit.
Yeah.
He moved out of his
valid. A valid response.
Well, he figured you're doing his job too, so you might as well just leave.
Hey, what do you call Chewbacca when he's got chocolate stuck in his hair? A chocolate chip Wookiee?
What? I disagree.
Please don't involve Star Wars in your shenanigans. This
Those are
is
the only
fucking
shenanigans.
sacrilege.
Oh, fuck.
Did you hear about the two guys who stole a calendar? They both got 6
No.
months.
Okay. They did a very poor job.
I mean,
Well, they got caught, didn't they, Ricky?
This is so fucking funny.
why don't big cats play poker in the safari? Too many cheetahs.
Yeah. Where are you reading these from?
Don't worry about my sources.
I need to know so I can DDoS attack the website.
What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick.
Yeah.
That's
not great.
All right, so Jacob,
What did Cinderella say when her photos didn't show up? Someday my prince will come.
Yeah. Yeah. She shouldn't have, though. She shouldn't have said it.
If you see a robbery at an Apple store, do you know what that makes you? An eyewitness.
Yeah.
Rick, you back yet?
We can only pray.
Somebody text them. Oh, I'm the only one with his number.
Rick, I'm begging.
You know what the poisonous snake said to the venomous snake?
Lewis, I will cut you.
I was going to say absolutely nothing because there's no such thing.
Yeah.
How does the moon cut his hair? He clips it.
I can't do this anymore.
You only got a few more minutes. Rick will be back someday. What? Oh my God. What do Kermit the Frog and Attila the Hun have in common? The same middle name.
Okay. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Waka waka.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go into the bathroom?
Because the P is
the
silent.
Because the P is silent.
Well, I thought it was going to be because they're all dead.
Oh, but
Yeah,
you're right, Saul. It's also because they're all dead.
Yeah.
Why can't you give Elsa a balloon? Because she'll let it go. All right, what does a nosy pepper do? It gets jalapeno business.
No, I refuse. Is this
So
what
Rick-
happened to Basil?
Ricky,
Uh-huh.
Is this what Blue did?
This is all Blue's been doing. Guys, real quick, and this is really important. What did Obi-Wan say to Luke when he was having trouble eating at a Chinese restaurant?
He said, Ricky, I'm going to choke slam you into the next week if you don't stop with these goddamn jokes.
He said, use the fork, Luke. It's not appropriate to make a dad joke if you're not a dad because it's faux pas.
Okay. All right. Yep.
am I the only one Ricky's cutting in and out for?
I fucking wish.
Is that what the F-bombs? I mean, he can cut this. No.
this is the in between.
What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage truck. Yeah. Basil, what's Forrest Gump's password? It's 1 Forrest 1.
Oh, God.
I want a bad dad joke. Test me.
All right. Why did Mozart sell his chickens?
Who?
Mozart, composer, pretty famous musician guy.
Is it because they kept talking about Bach?
Close. They kept saying Bach, Bach, Bach.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When?
When it becomes apparent.
Well, we should reach out for that information. Do we know anybody who can find information? Maybe somebody who, I don't know, knows a guy or something.
I can't think of anyone. No. Well, I have half an idea, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, I can't. It's just, it's.
That guy's resources are currently tapped, working on finding Blue.
Stop ruining the joke.
Robbie John has a tiny inkling of who you may be talking about.
Listen,
That's
I didn't mean to make
hurtful.
you. I didn't appreciate you getting short with me on that, Ron.
That as well.
Yeah, I might have been just a little a little off, a little not much well.
How about we wrap it up for tonight?
Almost.